Layla is our firstborn, and she's very outgoing. Just her smile alone would just make my day.
Full of sass, that's for sure. Always dancing, no matter who's watching, and loves her brother.
She was 3 years old and in preschool, and her teacher had approached me and had said that she was sort of limping around in school and kind of saying her leg was a little sore. So that was the first indication that something was going on. As she would sleep at night, her legs would just have these movements, and she'd say, "Mommy, my legs, I can't stop. They keep going, they keep kicking." And that was when we knew something was wrong, and we had taken her to the Kona emergency room. And at that point, they didn't know what it was.
The worst part is not knowing how to comfort your child while they're going through something. No one knows what she's going through.
And it got to the point where within the 3 days, she started having like a seizure-like activity where her eyes rolled back behind her head. She got really sweaty and she was moving and thrashing. That was the point where I had to put my foot down and say, take her to someone who can, or somewhere that would know a little bit more about what was going on with our daughter.
Once Layla presented to Kapiolani, within a couple of weeks, we knew that we were dealing with anti-NMDA receptor encephalitis. One of the unique challenges with this illness is it's a fairly newly recognized illness. When individuals have anti-NMDA receptor encephalitis, every aspect of their functioning, cognitively and physically, can be affected. The prognosis overall can be fairly good, but it can take a long time, and the illness can be very, very severe at times, and sometimes children can even die.
The thing about her disease is that it was newly discovered, so there wasn't any real protocol as to what exactly can we do.
So there was a good portion of time, I would say several months, where we were trying different treatments, talking with folks all over the country and the world to be able to understand what else we should do and what we can try next.
Just sitting and waiting and seeing her with tubes from both arms to her legs, to not eating, to not smiling. She wasn't even breathing on her own.
Because none of the treatments up to that point had been effective, we decided as a team to really look into starting plasmapheresis. Plasmapheresis is a manner in which to be able to take all of these antibodies out of a person's blood and then put all of the healthy blood and the healthy serum back. One of the challenges that came up is that we didn't have the right machine to be able to do plasmapheresis in such a young child. Once we obtained that machine, we were able to start that particular treatment.
I think at Kapiolani they realized that if we don't have the things that we need to take the best care of a patient, they'll make sure that we can get those things. And whether or not that always makes financial sense doesn't matter to them. It's really about taking care of our patients. And it really seemed that after that time is when we finally saw her turn the corner, where she was making improvements and they were sustained improvements.
Every time she progressed, it was like graduation. She took a step, everybody cheered. Nurses came from Carter to the therapy just to see the progress.
It was just nonstop. She kept doing new things, relearning old things, and it was in her. She just had to bring it out.
Really, the most important part of this end part of her hospitalization was the therapy she received. And our physical therapists, occupational therapists, speech therapists, child life, including Dr. Hirsch and Tucker.
We'll drive past the hospital and she'll want to go and see all her aunties and uncles, and it's not, any doctors. It's all her aunties and uncles and high fives and smiles and hugs. And I think for us, it's awesome to see something so scary and so intimidating for her being somewhere where she finds comfort.
The day she left, we had a little party for her, and so many nurses and so many therapists came in on their days off just to be there to see Layla go home, because it was that big of a deal to all of us, and she and her family had touched all of us that much.
Every rough day doesn't seem as rough. No hard day will ever be as hard as those days in the hospital. And every good day we have is an extraordinary day for us. We're just so grateful to have the opportunity to experience her life with her and to see her grow and to be healthy, vivacious, and full of life. And to be a big sister, she's just our little happy girl.